Channel. I'm Henrik, and this is War in the East 2. Let's call this the old campaign because it's from back in 2021, and I'm just making a after action report of what's going on. This is part 2. We're in August 1941. That would be turn 7, end of turn 7. So after the Germans and the human player of the Soviet Union moved all their forces. And we lost 90,000 troops, 1,500 guns, only 71 tanks. Oh, we lost 800 airplanes. That's a lot. This turn, we actually got fewer men on the map. We've been reinforcing with hundreds of thousands of troops every turn. This turn, we're losing troops. I think I emptied my Soviet reserves by now, and I really don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, so up around Leningrad, Tallinn is still holding on. It would appear as if the Germans, they've been pushing up against the main line, and they reached Novgorod itself and kind of pushed us out of the line. And I can see a lot of banged up divisions behind here, so the line is definitely, the secondary line here is thinning out. We don't have a good secondary line. I wouldn't even say that this naval brigade line is very strong either. Okay, I think this part of the line is too strong here, with 6, 8, 8, 4 in defense, whereas the internal parts are too weak. And I can also see that we have 2 and 2 and 1 and 1. We don't have very heavy forts inside Leningrad itself. We definitely don't have like the final line here coming out from Leningrad. So this might look strong because there's a lot of Soviet units, but actually I do believe, well, I actually know that this is a bit weak. So Leningrad front is 520,000 troops, 7,000 guns. So yeah, of course, and we have 2,000 planes up here, so that's a lot. But yeah, it's a strong one, and I guess it's not really easy to see what if I have good leaders up here. We could examine the. We don't have as many turns as we had in the previous. So the Luga, we have 5.8. So Bagramian is a good leader. Yeah, this is Vasilevsky. Is like the best leader defense-wise. So we have 2 very good leaders here. Do we have another army? Yeah, well, it's just a coastal army here inside. So, and inside Leningrad itself, we have the Neva with oh, that's, who is this? Konkov? Oh, he's crap. So yeah, we have 2 good leaders, army generals. Interesting to note is that southern Lake Ilmen. Let's see if I can learn. This Staria Rinza. Russa. Staria Russa. Let's call it the southern Lake Ilmen crossing here. Anyways, it's still holding on turn 7, and we're getting some rather heavy defense values here. Going further south, our skirmish line of security troops are holding. Alright, let's see if we can get a... Look at this. This is so interesting. Look at the look at the AI here. Our main line, Vyazma line, is holding, but they kicked us out of Bryansk, and they made a breakthrough, and not only did they advance, they open up a huge gap in the line here. And they just walked into Orel. And as far as I remember, I had, well, maybe I didn't have enough troops here. I think I only had like one skirmish line with one unit every second. So yeah, this was to be expected. But interesting, the AI managed to take advantage of a weakness in my line and open up this huge gap. And as you can see, what's in front of them? Basically nothing. 3 banged up divisions. That's it. Do I have anything in Tula? Nope. Headquarters. Look. 2,000, 3,000. So all I got are 10,000, 4,000, 8,000 troops. Right. So this is not a proper line. This is just banged up troops retreating. You can't really consider this a proper defined defense line here. So interesting, well done of the AI, and you can clearly see from my defensive dispositions here that I'm actually risking semi-encirclement. A human player would certainly take more advantage of this, but even versus the AI, I am in trouble here in this area. Right. Okay, interesting, yeah. Because I remember I was feeling fairly good about myself up until now, but late summer the AI started to ramp up the pressure, and I think we're gonna see a bit more about that. Okay, this is the Kursk line here now. Kursk line seems rather okay, and we pulled back into Kharkov itself. Right, I'm trying to check the values. They're around 2, 3, and 4 in defense, meaning these are, I mean, for being the Soviets 1941, decent troops, and we're getting some 1s and 0s forts. I mean, there is a line. There are no reserves. There are no tanks as reserves. No secondary line. But on the other hand, I don't see a lot of German troops threatening this part of the line. They are approaching the outskirts of Kharkov instead. And then, well, this is the southern or eastern Caucasus military front district along the river here. Values are 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, no, 5, 2, 3. So these divisions are a bit weaker. This is a weaker army. Yeah, I'm not surprised about that. And I do not like what I'm seeing here. I basically have a bunch of newly mobilized cavalry building a fortified line here, and no infantry to cover it. I guess I am setting up something of a secondary line, but it's airborne cavalry, airborne. There's no way these troops can hold this on. They can start constructing forts, but look, the Germans, they're already here. This does not bode well. I honestly, I don't remember exactly what happened here. I know we're gonna have a bit of a disaster in this area later on. It might be during the winter or even during spring 42 or later this fall. I can't tell you, but the major disaster of the campaign was around here. So maybe that's what we're seeing shaping up here, or it's later. I can't remember. And as to be expected, the Axis, they have advanced from Kherson to the approaches of the Kerch Peninsula. What about Odessa? Do we have any interesting combats there? No. Oh, wait. We have. They are attacking our. I don't know. Are these like what do you call it? Maybe they interdicted troops I tried to send there, but they didn't seem to be attacking Odessa itself this turn. Okay. Nope. Odessa has increased 20% to 3.86% fort, and we still have 99,000 troops in Odessa. We're now seeing level 2 forts and more forts constructing around Sevastopol here. They will come into action later, I remember that much. If you examine the strength of men, yeah, we lost 60,000. It looks like the Axis are losing troops as well. How about guns? Yeah, we lost, I don't know, less than 1,000 guns. We're still losing tanks. We keep strength. Okay, we did keep our strength in aircraft, but I wonder how large is the Soviet reserve at this point. It's 850,000. Okay, fair enough. We do have a reserve. So was there something else I wanted to check out? This is the first turn in August, and they are approaching. They took out Orel. I wouldn't mind so much losing Bryansk, but Orel, I guess this is the main threat, and also I feel like Stalino and Rostov is severely threatened, whereas Kharkov is well defended. Let me know in the comments. Too much momentum for the Axis AI. Where would you? Okay, I'm still holding on to all the Soviet militia, setting up a defense line here. Let me see. What is the fort level? Yeah, that's the thing. They have now fort level 1, and they are. You know what I think happened? I think since my version of the game only allowed you to build fort 1 10%, but back then they were sitting here and building up towards fort level 2, which was the allowed back then. I strongly believe that. So what we'll see, will the Vyazma line hold? What will happen with the Orel breakthrough? Where will the Army Group South go? Towards Kharkov or towards Stalino? We'll see in the next turn. That would be turn 8. This is the 1st of June 2021. So about 2 years ago, almost exactly. Okay, we lost 100,000. That seems to be the normal every turn, to lose 100,000, 1,600 guns. Very few tanks, but again, we lose over 800, almost 900 airplanes. But we do gain 200,000 troops. But this time, we're bleeding 600 airplanes. We deployed 1,100 tanks though. So finally comes the tanks. Let's see where they end up. Yep, look at this. Look at this disaster here. The Germans, they just walk through the marshes. They walk into Novgorod. Oh wait, they are across the river as well. So they didn't go where I was the strongest here. I guess maybe I suspected that they would break through here, but instead they just walked north of Lake Ilmen, and well, if this is anything to judge by, we should now see them cutting off Leningrad this way, or potentially cutting off the double railroad here. Let's see what happens. I kind of know, but I don't want to spoil the surprise. But what I can tell, and I guess, look at this. Yeah, I had to thin out the Staraya Russa southern Lake Ilmen front and take troops up here, just throw them in here to stop them. And I don't have any forts. I don't have any forts. I don't have any fort. I don't have any forts. This is a disaster. They're just standing out in the open. And here comes, you know how strong these German troops are, especially at 120 level difficulty. They're 20% stronger, and they're already so strong. All right. Let's erase that. Thank you. My drawing tool is a bit finicky to use. Don't ask me why I color this red. It's probably not because it's an elite, but just to differentiate it. 8th Army is it good? Well, 73,000. Look at the morale is 50 at most, 49, some 46, 45, 44. It's okay. The morale is okay on these guys. It's not excellent or anything. But I mean, 73,000 guys to protect this amount of front. Yeah, that's not gonna end well, I can tell you that. And then we have a new gray army here. Oh, they're not very strong. They're not very strong, are they? Are we starting to see... Yeah, we're starting to see some regiments in the German front. Can you see here? Regiment, regiment, regiment. Yeah, I think we have more regiment. So they're thinning out this line. So maybe the pressure is somewhat lessening in certain areas in the direction towards Rzhev. I mean, there's basically nothing here. There is a railway and Rzhev, but other than that, not so much to do up here. So what's... All right, interesting. We see a major Soviet pullback from... Oh my god, I haven't circled a Panzer division. I don't think I managed to eliminate it. Did I? Can't remember, to be honest. We have some decent defense values. 8, 9, 8, 6, 5, 14, 9, 11, 6. Okay, so yeah, we have level 2 forts here. Some... So I'd say, for now, the Vyazma, which is up here, Vyazma line, one encirclement. I can't remember how that happened, but that's good. He probably made a mistake and just let me step inside there. And the Bryansk Bulge down here, it has been abandoned, and we've fallen back to a stronger northern Tula to, what's the name of this town here? Yeah, this line is starting to look better. But look at the defense values. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. I mean, we don't have any forts. And here comes the strong German Army Group Center. Did I finally abandon? Yep, here we are. See what happened here? I had to abandon the Moscow line here. Wait, sorry. Let's clear that out. The Moscow line. Apparently, I felt that, yeah, the Axis weren't approaching the shortest route towards Moscow, but instead they're taking a right hook. So I suppose these are my militia now on this river defending, and we got a division in Ryazan. I know there's gonna be very heavy fighting here, but I'm throwing what I got here. Here's where I deploy troops. Look at the Panzers. They, as far as I remember, they didn't advance at all. I mean, I guess after that major breakthrough through Bryansk all the way through Orel, they needed to rest and refit in this area, and I took the chance to withdraw. And like the Voronezh line, I wouldn't even call it a line. It's more like of a skirmish defense here. Look. Oh, it's horrible. But Kursk is a bit better defended. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get 4 hexes. 4 hexes gap. Am I trying to lure the AI into this gap here? I mean, I don't know where they're going. But I guess I prefer them to go down here or towards Voronezh instead of up towards Moscow, because I'm a lot stronger up towards Moscow. Anyway, this is how I set up. Yeah, nothing new much here. I suppose that, yeah, we had a lot of fighting around Kharkov. The AI is just pushing into Kharkov itself, and apparently I held Kharkov with my 18,000 defenders. How come it's 18,000? Oh, because I have 1 airborne brigade in there as well. All right. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure I was happy to see the German AI assault directly into heavily fortified, I mean city terrain, Kharkov itself, because that allowed me to build up all these secondary defense lines here. Look, I have 1, 2, 3, even 4 hexes deep in certain areas. Here I only have 1. That's weird. But when it comes to look at the Rostov and Stalino defense line, it's still only cavalry down here. Am I getting... Okay, we have a weak infantry division here. We have another 10,000. Okay, I guess I'm getting some infantry in place here. But this, to be honest, you can tell why I have so many troops around Moscow. Because the south is just so weak. Okay. Nothing happening around Kerch Peninsula. But let's check Odessa. 5 attacks. The first one is a held. They lost 10,000. They attacked with 120,000. I don't think I checked these battles back then, so... Another held. 1800 to 1900. Right, can you see how much fort you lose? Not here. Oh yeah, here you go. I went from 2 to 1 fort, and in the first one, I went from 3 to 2. So I'm quickly very, you know, I have something to say about that. Sure, they have 36 artillery factors, but shouldn't you see like storm engineers here as well? I mean, look, when you're down to 1 fort, it's gonna be impossible to hold it. Let's see the third one. That's another held, and basically no losses because he only attacked with 5,000 troops. All right, so that's pointless. Another 22,000 attack, another held. Well, I guess I'm gaining some guard troop training here. 1 fort, and lastly 1 fort. 33,000. He kind of made a serious effort in the last attack, but this is a very interesting 57 artillery, 1,200 attack factors to mine 800, not 10,000 losses. I wonder if that's mostly German or some Romanians as well. They don't have any air cover. I don't have any air cover. I guess this is the battle that decides the fate of Odessa, because I lost the 3 to level 2 fort. Okay, interesting. Turn 8. Odessa fortress is in trouble. And we have a bunch of scouted, held, scouted, retreated. So I get pushed out of 1. And here I scouted and retreated. Alright. Wait, retreat. Wait. I'm still holding this hex. Did I recapture it? It's possible. I don't have any forts now, though. They killed all my forts here. So I think they're gonna slowly push through here. Okay, that's turn 8, 10th of August. What do you think is going to happen next turn? Do you think Odessa will hold? Do you think the Isthmus will hold? Will they take Stalino? What will happen at Kharkov? What will happen from the Orel breakthrough area? Where will the panzers go? And Leningrad? Is Leningrad in danger of falling? Watch more in the next month. It's not going to be the next episode because we're going to keep on doing this. Let me just check the stream. Hello viewer, how are you? Say hello. Give me a shout out in the chat. I wonder if I can edit the chat window in. Yeah, there we go. How are you? I wonder who's watching it. Well, nice to have you here, viewer, in any case. So, next. Alright, let's check the stats. So, we gained like 200,000 troops. 2,000 guns. Ooh, look, almost 1,000 tanks. Well, and we lost like 800 planes. Yeah, you remember that. Turn 8, right? We're still on 1st of June. I hope this is the right one. Nope. This is the one 10th of August, sorry. We're gonna go with turn 9. And we're still on the 1st of August. I must have played a shit out of this campaign around the 1st of June because I played like 2 or 3 turns in one day. And that's a lot. Yep. We lost 132,000. I would say that's above average. 2,000 artillery pieces seems to be normal. 130 tanks, yeah, it's more than normal, but it's not a huge amount. Almost no airplanes. I guess I pulled out a lot of airplanes because I lost 800 last month. We gained 200 airplanes. We gained 1,000 tanks. We replaced what we lost in artillery. And we gained more infantry than we did lose. But as you can see now, we're not deploying 500,000 men here. We're deploying like 80,000. All right. So what happened in the north? Okay, interesting. I don't see a lot of progress in the north. I see a lot of fighting. I see some hold. I'm actually, he's now attacking on the strongest part of the front line where I had good divisions. And he pushed back one province. He didn't take. There's 2 scouted here. So I guess I'm doing okay this turn around Leningrad. But the pressure is on. He's still keeping a full Panzer Corps up here. I mean, the AI probably doesn't, like a human player would take the the 1st Panzer Corps and move most of it, if not all, down to the center or even south. No push against southern Lake Ilmen position. But here you can see they have now crossed into the wilderness of the Veliki Luki area here. And there's no way we can hold him back. Even though he's attacking and advancing in regimental strength, I'm just like bashed up here. My divisions, I have nothing here. And the only reason I'm not panicking more than I am, it's like, what are you actually losing here? Yeah, it's wilderness. There's nothing useful here except terrain, except hexes closer towards Berlin. Let's paint a bit here. So let's call this the center. At least I have some forces here. A bit stronger around Vyazma. Quite a lot stronger here. Quite quite nice, quite nice. River defenses that are okay. South of the major river, ooh, they're not very strong here. These are weak divisions, or at least weak defense values. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. I don't know why I am defending this bulge. Maybe I should have hidden behind the major river here. It seems like I have a new army here. Could that be the militia? They're so strong that maybe this is the militia. I'll examine that, and I think I know where all the newly deployed tanks popped up. That would be this army here. Let's examine. First off, we got 48th Army. Where's the 48th Army? 4th Army, sorry. Under Tulbukin, which is a very good tank leader, and he commands 1100 tanks with some artillery. Yep, I decided that Tula needed a mobile reserve, and I just want to see where. That's not where's the militia? Is that, oh, the light green? This is the militia, the light green army here. So that's interesting. I decided to, I probably remember I had the militia army was stationed here. Oh, I can't remember if it was down there, but, and then I had to throw the militia into the center of this line here. And obviously, since I had a lot of forts here, I used to have forces here, but I decided to pull them back somewhere. And I wonder how this is going to go, but they have fairly decent defensive values here. 2 and 3. And it's also a defense in depth, isn't it? But did the German AI decide from his central location where he was last turn? Decide. I mean, did he decide to move up here? It seems like that. He didn't push on the Voronezh skirmish line. He didn't push towards Tula. So does that mean that the 4th tank army is a bit out of position? Not too bad. They're out in the open. I'd say Moscow looks okay. Look, see what I found here. I even found another tank army. Let's check that one out. That would be the 10th army under Purkayev. I think Purkayev is a good tank leader, isn't he? Mech 5. He's not that good with mech. How many tanks does he got? 1700 tanks, and he's got a 5 in mech. Yeah, I should have put a better tank leader on the 10th army. But there you go. So we have 1700 tanks around Vyazma, and we got 1100 around Tula. So guess where I have all my tanks? They're defending Moscow. All right, let's go south. I think we can do like this. Well, this is not very interesting, but Kharkov has fallen. Kursk is still holding on. Do you want me to draw? Kursk still holding on, but he pushed me back out of Kharkov, and I abandoned a couple of forts. So I guess, oops, we can check out the combats in Kharkov itself. Yeah, look, there's a lot of battles around Kharkov here. But this just tells you how strong the AI. Well, first off, the Axis is very strong in 1941 summer, as it should be, but on 120 difficulty, the combat multiplier is just brutal. We have scouted and held. Oh, but not inside. Look, they just moved into Kharkov and routed us with a level 2 fort and city urban terrain with, well, they attacked with 60,000 troops to our 12,000. We lost 9,000 of the 13,000 there. So Kharkov has fallen, but the front line is intact, right? And I'd say my guess would be with that heavy troop concentration pushing towards Kharkov, I mean, let us guess that they didn't quite have the forces to pursue my cavalry line down here, the Rostov cavalry line. Am I getting some infantry in the front line? Yeah, I think. And here's a mechanized, and tank. Yeah, I think the northern part of the Rostov line is starting to get like a secondary cavalry line with some mech and tank in the front line. So slowly I'm replacing this skirmish line here, and we get a second line with cavalry, and we get the Rostov. All right. It would appear the Axis has taken 2 or 3, maybe 3 provinces that took the harbor here of Nichek, whatever. Oh, yeah. So they're pushing into the isthmus itself. And what happens in Odessa? Did I abandon Odessa? 95. Okay, we have 95,000 troops still in Odessa, so I guess I choose to fight. Wait, no combats? Nope. They didn't attack Odessa, and I am back up to a level 1 fort. Actually, a 1 and 88%. Yeah, because I think I have a lot of engineering troops there and yada yada, so you do reconstruct. So I guess at this stage, turn 9, 17th of August, I was hoping to refortify and keep Odessa. As you will see, that's not going to happen. And as you saw, there was a lot of fighting at the entrance of the Crimean Peninsula. Interesting. And I don't think we have to examine the force composition. We know about how much. Did we just get why haven't I moved these forces? I probably wasn't like really good with checking forces popping up in the back line or something. I don't know. I have to say, I mean, there are certain critical areas. Kharkov, losing Kharkov, yeah, it doesn't make a breakthrough, so I wouldn't call this a critical. The line south of Stalino is critical, but there are no Axis forces here because they're all at Kharkov, alright? Like Voronezh, yeah, very thin line here, but there are no Axis forces pushing. They are pushing towards Moscow here, and the Moscow militia. Here, same here. Critical, yes. Is it valuable terrain? No. Leningrad, however, not looking good. Okay. We are at the 17th of August. Let's pop into turn 10. We're now on the 2nd of June, 2021, so 2 years ago when I was playing this. So remember, the version out now is quite a lot different from what I was playing back then. There are some major differences. We lost 108,000 and actually lost 30,000 troops on the map. So from now on, I'm not able to deploy enough forces from the Soviet reserve out on the map to withstand 100,000 or so losses I sustain every turn. 1600 artillery, that's about average, but I do lose more artillery. I'm not able to replace it. We increase a bit air and tanks, 100 and 400. So basically, I'm losing 3 divisions worth of troops, I guess, but I'm not getting stronger. I'm getting weaker. It's the end of the summer. I know I was feeling like, Jesus, the AI is so freaking strong. How am I supposed to ever stop this? And, wouldn't you know it, the AI just simply walks. Look at this. They just smash through my fort line. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure I had decent forts here. And they surround Kronstadt and Oranienbaum fortresses. And what have I got in the second line inside Leningrad? Well, I have one division, one very weak 7,000, one defense value, and zero fort, where I have 3 division and they're banged up properly. So here we see, I think what you're seeing here is I underestimated the strength of Army Group North, and they hurt me so badly in this turn and the front of Leningrad, well, and the turn before that as well, that I'm just like barely holding on. And you can see the defense values, the fortress values, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. Like, oh, I got a 2 here. I got 1, 2. But this defense line isn't strong. I am throwing bodies at a very strong German infantry army group. I'm still at 527,000 troops though, so I do have a lot of bodies, a lot of air, on 7,000 artillery. But what I don't got is forts, and this will prove fatal. Right. Lake Ilmen South position hasn't been assaulted yet. We can see the Axis pushing a bit into the Valdai Hills here. Very weak defense line falling back, more of a skirmish line. Okay, let's examine around Moscow. As you can see here, primary line. Yeah, they're pushing up towards Vyazma, but they're only taking 1 province. But here they're pushing up towards the river crossing here. Oh yeah, they're grabbing that town. I'm sorry, I can't remember what the name is. I'm gonna check it. I have not deployed the 4th Tank Army. I'm still keeping the militia army in the front line. That's not good. Okay, so I need to... Okay, let me check. What's the name? What's the name of this town here? Kaluga, of course, Kaluga. Oh, they took the river, the rail yard, but not Kaluga itself. But I think the AI is kind of programmed to take river crossings with rail on them. See, they're following the rail and doing massive attacks here. That's, I think it's scripted something. Okay, let's check out the, well, if it's not Moscow, let's call it the Kharkov area. Should we call it that? They are now taking another city here, but they're not breaching the line. That's what's important. I don't think I feel very threatened. They taken Kharkov. They taken whatever this town is called. They're not pushing yet towards Stalino. And I bet my ass I am very happy about that. So not many changes in the south. They're now breaking through the fort at the Kerch Isthmus Strait, and they're taking more provinces here. So they're slowly pushing in. But you know, we're turn 10, and I'm holding on. But I know that once they reach the open plains here, it's gonna be painful, because look, there's mostly weak cavalry divisions behind there. Although we're getting some nice forts outside Sevastopol, level 2. And no attacks at Odessa, and I'm really curious to see what the fort level is. It's gone from 186% to 2.82. So even though you go from high level 2 forts, you can increase 1 full percent. So we're gonna have a round 2 of combat. I'm not gonna reach level 3 and high level 3, but there we go. And is this gonna be our last turn in August? I think so, because what date would it be? 31st of August. Let's check. So that would be oh yeah, that would be turn 11N, right? That would be the 31st of August. Let's see if am I right. Yeah, let's do this one as well. Turn 11. This is gonna be the last week or turn. We lost 108. You know, it's interesting how 110, say, is kind of a very common number. And around 16 to 1800 artillery, 400 airplanes. That's a little bit. You know, I've seen 800, but I also seen like 100 or less. So this is a lot of airplanes. Not many tanks lost. I guess the 2 tank armies hasn't been in action. This time we lose. Let me see here. Is it only 12,000 troops we lose on the map? Yeah, okay, so we get decent replacements like 90,000 to recover the 108,000 lost. We lose some artillery. We gain another 1,700 tanks on the map. Cool. I wonder what where that army pops up. Let's go to the north. Oh my god, look at this. There's so much heavy fighting. Delete. Look at all these combats. Look at all these combats. But I think I do have some hold results, don't I? First they attacked in the south, then they attacked in the north, and now they're attacking the south again. So the AI is keeping me off balance here. Right. So there's a couple of hold results, and there's a couple of lost provinces. I have to say, I must have been quite content. I held Leningrad itself. I only lost like a couple of hexes. I mean, yeah, sure, there's not a lot of them left, and we're far off from the mud, but hey, at this moment I must have felt pretty happy about myself. And here for the first time we see an assault versus the southern Lake Ilmen position, although only scouted, so I was too strong. Moscow, more losses around Veliki east. So now they're pushing towards the Rzhev here, and I know I'm weak in this area. Wait, did I do a counterattack here? You remember that Panzer division I encircled? Is that what I was attacking? No, they didn't have any tanks. But I did use 3 tank divisions to attack something. Yeah, I think a regiment. A German regiment, and I pushed it back with 500 losses, and I lost 17 tanks. That's a good attack. 500 tanks attacking. That's one of. Is that the first attack I've seen so far? Could be. And the Germans keep pushing up here towards Moscow. And now I can tell here that I have deployed the 4th Tank Army in the reserve towards the Schwerpunkt of the Army Group Center. What I notice here is like this is like a first primary line. The Voronezh line is getting a bit stronger. What I don't like is that I'm still keeping this militia army in the combat line. It's not only that they're weaker manpower wise, they have very little artillery in them, so they're not line infantry per se, but hey, you do what you get to do, right? I think it looks okay. It's not too bad. I guess the Germans are getting close to Kursk now. We kind of covered up the whole outside Voronezh here. All right, I think I see where we introduced our latest tank army, and that would be the 38 army under, what's his name? Ryabushev. And he's only a 4 mech. Am I an idiot? Why would I keep a tank army under such a shitty commander? In any case, he's now commanding all the 1400 tanks I deployed. I mean, obviously it's going to be crap tanks. These are early war tanks, BT-7s and T-26s, etc. But hey, why did I feel that I needed a tank army behind this fairly stable line? I mean, there's a major river, there's some forests. As I remember, I used to have like double, triple, maybe I pulled out infantry from down here and sent them elsewhere. Maybe into the reserve to repair. I don't know. Maybe I sent them south to defend. See, the southern Stalino line, still cavalry. It's just a miracle that the Axis hasn't advanced further towards this line and broken through here, but hey. I don't think we have any combat here either. Nope, no combat at all. None whatsoever. I must have been thrilled about that. So I'm keeping Kursk and Stalino for now. However, on the Kerch Peninsula, I think I am getting banged up fairly heavily. And as you can see, my defense line now is pulled back behind this river, and then I have a skirmish line anchored on this port here with 1-1 defense. And I know that I'm trying to set up a defense line behind this river, a secondary line. I do have a fort here in this province. I guess I'm trying to fortify Kerch. And as you can see, I have a very decent level 2 fort line outside Sevastopol here. So I am fighting for time here to fortify my secondary defenses. And now we have some very heavy fighting in Odessa. The first one, they lose 8,000 to our 3,000, but they take fort down to level 1. Then they lose 2,000 to our 2,000, and now we're down to level 0 fort, and I think now it's gonna start to hurt. They attack with 25,000, and we barely suffer any. What I do know is that the infantry divisions defending Odessa in this campaign, they gain a lot of victories, which is good for guard creation. So these will be my guard divisions later on, at least some of them. Another 20,000 attacking. Yeah, sure, we lost 1,000 to their 500. We get another victory. And the last one, 800 to 1,800. I mean, all in all, this is great result for the Soviet Union. I don't think a human player would attack like this. They would attack with 100,000 over and over again until the Soviet defenders retreated or were stopped. I don't even know, can you retreat from Odessa? If you were to lose this province, if you get a retreat result, would they evacuate by ship to the nearest port, or would they all be eliminated, all the 88,000 troops? And I guess that is why I'm pulling out this turn or next, because I was so uncertain. I don't want to lose these troops. They're experienced, they have good morale, and what if I eventually lose one combat? I do believe that they would withdraw, or maybe even get stuck into the Soviet reserve pool. Let me know in the comments if you know. If I knew it back then, I've forgotten. So that was the last of August. I have to say, August seems to have been an okay month. Although I am feeling severely the pressure in many different locations here. The AI is incredibly strong. Alright, thank you so very much for watching. If you made it to the end, please like and subscribe. to support not only me and my channel, but also this wonderful game. It's my favorite and probably the best grand strategy war game ever made. So support it. Let's get YouTube to get more attention to the game. Okay, thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye.